Listen, Young Double-A in the building, man. I'm in Colorado in the studio doing what I do when I do it. But listen, I have to tell y'all, Mile High Minute, #1 in the world. I get a bag and blow a bag and pass the bag away. When I call, tell her to come and fuck that nigga, she on her way. Switch the location, change the destination, gotta get away.
Mile High Minute, #1 podcast in the universe. We live in Denver, Colorado with Dubba-AA, man.
What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Just working, man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it for the invite.
Yeah, welcome to the man. Well, this is our first interview, so let's get into your backstory a little bit. Where are you originally from? Florida? Right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm from Florida, South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised. I was actually born in Savannah, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah.
And then I went to Florida like when I was like a day old or something. So I've been in Florida my whole life, really.
So you were born in Savannah?
Yep.
And you moved to Florida when you were one day old?
Yeah, 1 day old. Yeah. Soon they let me out the hospital. My dad was like, "Yeah, come on, it's time for y'all to go to where I'm from."
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How come they had y'all like in a completely different state? Were they living in?
So my mom, she from Savannah.
Oh, okay.
So my dad met my mom when he was in the military. He was stationed up there. So
okay.
So after he had the kid, he was like, "Nah, you can't stay up here." Like, he got you and my son come down to Florida. So they went and got married and all of that. And that's how I've been in Florida ever since.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you basically grew up in Florida your whole life?
Mm-hmm.
What part?
Palm Beach.
Palm Beach? Is that near like?
It's like Fort Lauderdale. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never been to Florida, honestly. So.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida a different vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, real different. You have all the cultures in one little melting pot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's dope, for sure.
Okay. I feel like that's probably a way someone in Denver could relate to someone in Florida is like when you say melting pot of cultures. Because we feel like out here, you know, in the middle of the country, we got all types of influences when it comes to music and culture and stuff like that. So.
Facts. Yeah, I noticed that last night. We went out to some spot. I don't know what it was, but we walked into 10 different types of people in there. So
yeah.
I was like, okay, Colorado a little different.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just depending on where you're at out here and stuff.
For sure.
Okay. So grew up in Florida. Is Palm Springs, and how far is it from Miami?
Palm Beach, that's probably like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Not even though, like a good 45, 50 if you know how to drive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So when did like music kind of come into your life?
I started making music at the age of 2, simply, you know, playing drums in the church, growing up in the church. Then that kind of transitioned from that to being in a marching band, right? I always still playing drums every Sunday in church, but going to the marching band, then I got into a group, and all of that just took off.
Okay.
Honestly.
Experimenting with different types of like instruments and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Got to.
Were sports or anything like that, like of interest at that age? Or
oh, facts. So
music?
I always, anybody who would tell you like, I know I'm short, right? But I'm deadly on the court, like even still today, right? So I used to play basketball, and my secondary sport was baseball. I was too small at the time. Y'all look at me now, I got a little weight on me, but back then I was real skinny and I was short. So it was like, I just had to make sure like that whatever I did, I was kind of protected. So it's like my pops was like, nah, you can't play football, but you can go play basketball and baseball.
Okay.
For sure.
So what position were you in basketball and baseball?
Basketball, I was the point guard, for sure. Like, controlling the whole tempo of the game. Baseball, I played shortstop and I played left field. I'm left-handed, so you gotta, you know how that is.
Yeah. Were you like a Marlins fan? Girl, was it always Florida team?
Nah, I really liked Seattle at the time. The Mariners, cause Griffey.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He was like my hero coming up, for sure.
What about in basketball, football? Like Dolphins?
The Florida teams that we have always had a struggle.
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of hard to be a fan of the Florida teams. Like, I'm a big Lakers fan, even before LeBron came.
Yeah.
And at that time, just being, personable or impersonable,
Shout out to sponsor today's video, 3AM Water. You know what I'm saying? Go get that hydration for the go-getters coming out of Denver, Colorado, man.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, this water is like close. My favorite water is Zephyr Hills. You know what I'm saying? But this is a close, like neck and neck. I rock with this for sure.
Yeah, man. Shout out 3AM Water, man. But anyways, let's get back into it. So we talked a little bit about sports. Let's kind of dive back into music.
Yeah.
When did you start producing in specific? I know you brought up like the other instruments and stuff like that you were into, but when did producing become of interest?
Producing was always a hobby for me. Only reason I started making beats was because I couldn't afford to buy beats at that time. You know, it wasn't like YouTube was kind of just coming into play, and you got SoundClick, but at that time I was a kid, so I didn't even have a debit card to even buy a beat for $1 on SoundClick or whatever the case may be. So
SoundClick, is that like another brand, or are you talking about SoundCloud?
Nah, SoundClick was something that they had. It was like the Beat Stars of back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go in there, that's where you had Vibe Beats, you had all those producers that kind of started the internet trend. It was on SoundClick. So I was like, yo, man, I can't afford this. So I asked my mom to buy me some beats. And she was like, nah, I ain't gonna buy you no beats. So Christmas came around, it was a big box and it was a keyboard in it.
Yeah.
So she was like, now you can make your own beats. So that's what really happened, and that's how it came about.
Okay, were you initially wanting to become more of a recording artist at first? And then,
yeah, for sure. Like, it got to the point where the group that I was in, shout out to the Pangea kids, we went as far as to 106 in Park, BT College tour, the MTV Hip Hop Awards, the Apollo. We did all of that stuff, and that was before I made beats.
And I was with the group, you said?
I was in the group. Yeah, I was in the group. So we did that, and it was a dope look. It was a dope look for us, but the production just kind of took off later on. But it was a point in time where I wasn't even doing music because the group broke up.
Yeah.
And it was in a weird place, so I didn't want to do it without the group, but I had to figure it out. So.
Okay, no, that makes sense. So you're doing the group, and that was before like the Youngboy Placements.
All of that. This was like 2011, 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Okay. And were you in like high school and stuff at this point? Or
I just graduated from high school at that time.
Okay.
So it was when that happened. When that happened, I went to a community college. It was like, don't go off to college, just go ahead and figure it out, this rap stuff. So I was like, all right, cool.
Why did you focus on music?
Focus on the music. So that's when all of that happened. So it was a good opportunity for it because we was all so young when that happened.
Yeah.
And they kind of took off quick. But you know how what they say, like, overnight success would be like an overnight fail too. So we was putting in work, but it wasn't to the point where we really understood exactly what we were doing. So it was cool.
That's actually pretty interesting because I feel like a lot of parents would prefer their, or not even necessarily parents, but just people in general and peers would want you to go to like a community college or go to college first.
Facts.
So was that kind of interesting to kind of have it the other way around where people were wanting you to focus more on music instead of school?
Everybody was cool with it except for my mom and dad. It was like, you need to go out to school. Okay. But I was like, man, trust me, if I do this, it's going to change everybody's life.
Yeah.
And so to have majority of the people rock with you, that make you feel good, because people like my grandma, she brought me my first pair of sticks. So she invested in me a long time ago. So it's just, you just got to kind of watch out for the people that don't want you to succeed.
Right.
Or chase your dreams, because honestly, when you have people like that not telling you to chase your dreams, that's because they're projecting their fears on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's cool.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So did you get pretty good grades in high school and stuff?
I did enough. Honestly, I did enough to get by, because at that time, my dad kind of left.
Yeah.
So I ain't really had no father figure at the time. So I was just wilding out. But I knew for a fact if I wanted to play sports, I had to do enough to get a 2.0. And everybody know a 2.0 is like a C average.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm gonna just do enough to pass.
So you were doing good enough to pass and graduate and stuff like that. You said your dad kind of wasn't necessarily a figure in your life at that point. How did you kind of stay motivated and focused? Because that can be very, depressing and kind of get you down. So how were you able to kind of maintain that grind and dedication and motivation, even though you might not have had a figure in your life to look up to?
I will say this, the reason I did graduate is because of my dad, because I got into some trouble back at home, and when my dad left, he went to Tennessee. So I got into some trouble, and it was like, you gotta go stay with your dad. So them last years, like the 2 years or so, I was up there with him, and that's when I kind of got back on track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you want to go to college at that point at all? Or?
Hell no, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to college at all because I knew that I wanted to be a rapper. So I was like, it didn't make sense for me.
Okay.
So it kind of worked out anyway. But the very thing that I was trying to not go to was the thing that kind of turned me up later on. And I'm in this seat with you right now because I went to college. It's weird, bro.
Right.
It's weird.
Okay.
It's cool.
So you said, I'm going to take the music route. When did you graduate? What year?
What year?
Yeah.
Like 09.
09,
yeah.
Okay. That was before like this new kind of Florida wave came out, I feel like.
Yeah, all of them boys wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, relevant. Like I remember Kodak, he wasn't even Kodak then, he was like J Black.
Okay.
So.
What was it like coming up at that point trying to be a rapper? Were people like kind of dogging you and not believing you, or was it actually like a real career at that point in Florida?
So right after when we did all the 106 in Park, right before that, it was people doubting me, right? Because that's just Florida. They not gonna rock with you until they know. Till you on, right? So after 106 in Park, everybody like, y'all boys putting on for the city. We know you can do it.
Yeah.
I was like, you was the same guy telling us that it's cool, y'all need to go harder, this and this and that.
Right.
But after you make it, that's just how it is. But and then of course Florida wasn't Florida at that time. It was DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
That's what it implies.
Right. Yeah.
So all these Florida rappers now that's making waves and all of that, it wasn't none of that.
Okay. So would you say it was kind of tough to make it out of Florida in the rap scene at that point? Or do you feel like you guys still had a pretty good scene?
Well, to be honest, when Khaled came out, that's when all the attention came onto us.
Yeah, because they had like Ross and stuff.
Yeah, they had Ross, they had the Trinas, they had the Flow Riders going crazy in that different genre. So it was up at that time. And then you had Cool and Dre who was producing in the Runners and all of that. So they was killing the sound. So yeah, it kind of made it easy for eyes and stuff to be in the city.
Okay.
It's cool.
Let's kind of get into more of the recording now, or producing, I should say. Who were like the first artists you started really working with or producing beats?
So I was in high school, and the first song that we ever produced for somebody was Van Damme Body Slam, and he had a song called Body Slam. I was in high school, but when we made that beat, that kind of like turned up the whole city.
Yeah.
People didn't even know I made the beat, but it kind of turned us up. Like walking in school, people knowing what's going on. It was cool.
Okay.
Nice little vibe.
And then when did or how did you start working with Kodak and Youngboy?
My brother, shout out to J-Lock, he had a brain tumor. They had to give him brain surgery, so they had to cut into his skull and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
And he was recovering. He was on the couch, and he came up. I came up to him. I'm like, "You straight? You good?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "But listen, you need to go ahead and work with this guy named Kodak. Like he hard. Like Kodak who?
Before he blew
This
up?
was like 2014,
Okay.
2015.
Yeah.
He was like, "Bro, you need to work with him, bro. I'm telling you, bro, he gonna be the next one out of Florida." So, me trying to make sure my little bro good, I go grab my laptop. I'm like, "What beats you think I should send?" He picked out 2 or 3 beats. I go home to Tennessee because I'm in college at the time.
Yeah.
He called me the first day of classes. He was like, "Bro, Kodak hopped on it."
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I didn't know who Kodak was at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was not on my radar, but I was happy because somebody actually just grabbed the beat from me. But I was also happy because I was broke. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, no money. Like, trying to figure out what I'm eating tomorrow type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got some money coming. So that kind of helped me out for sure working with Kodak. And then he hit me up on the gram, was like, you hard. So we just locked in, like, from the beginning, like, all the hit record going crazy.
Okay. Oh, that's dope. Was There He Go one of those first beats?
Man, that was not one of the first beats. That happened probably like a year and a half later.
Okay.
And right when he got out of jail, he came home, we did the record. And it's history ever since. Like, that record crazy.
Okay.
That was a dope. I was working at the Boys and Girls Club at the time. Actually, I wasn't. I was working at a spot called Face Place. It was like a little summer job, you know what I'm saying? So I came home. Yeah. Okay. I made the beat at work.
Oh, really?
At work, and I was, you know,
you brought your laptop to work?
I brought my laptop to work. It was like a Boys and Girls Club type of situation, after school program, but it was a summer program. So I'm in there watching a group of kids, but I know for a fact I'm not really listening to them because I got my headphones in and I'm making the beat. And he came home and we locked it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. So before that, was that your last job you were working?
Yeah.
That was the last.
But that wasn't even, it wasn't even a job. That was, so the director there, she cares about college kids. So she helped me out. She really, like, blessed me with a job to, like, on some summertime vibes, and I can come and go as I pleased. But it wasn't really, like, my real job. My last real job was, I believe, Finish Line. Okay. And that was like 2010. Damn. Okay. Yeah, and ever since then I was like, man, I'm finna just figure this junk out.
What is your opinions on 9 to 5? On 9 to 5s?
My opinion on people having, there's nothing wrong with it. Right. But if you know for a fact you have a goal or a dream or something that you're trying to obtain, understand that every time you take away from your dream, the place that you're working at, whether it's a Walmart, a Kmart, Starbucks, somebody started that company, and that was their dream. Right. So you're just fulfilling their dream, and your dreams are being put on hold every time you go to somebody else's job.
That's real.
That's just how I feel.
What kind of advice would you give to an upcoming entrepreneur who may still be in and out of jobs, you know, pursuing a business, but still kind of like working a job to kind of help keep the bills paid and stuff like that? What kind of advice would you give someone to kind of get to a point where they're making enough money off of their passion, their entrepreneurship, their career, that they don't have to, you know, worry about that?
The advice I would have, honestly, and this may sound corny or cheesy, but if you can believe it, you can achieve it. But you got to put in the work too. Yeah. Because it was at a point in time where I knew for a fact whatever I was going to be doing was going to make sense. Me touching these millions, me putting diamonds, permanent diamonds in my mouth, and all of that good stuff. It's like, you got to understand that it'll make sense for you if you really just put in, like, the hard work and all the dedication. Yeah. People don't want to put in that work. They just want the end result, but they don't understand what comes in between the beginning and the end. You got a whole slew of middle that you're not even, you know what I'm saying, acknowledging. You just seeing the struggle, and then somebody will blink, and then, oh man, they rich. But how did you get rich? So you really, honestly, stay true to your hustle. Make sure you put in your work. You got to make sacrifices. Without sacrifices, don't quit your 9 to 5, because you might as well stay in. The sacrifices and the risk was already made. Right. You know what I'm saying, when the company was made. So if you don't want to make your company bigger and make it better, then honestly, keep the 9 to 5.
Let's get back into your bio a little bit. Heavily influenced by, like, gospel church. So are you religious?
Yeah, I am. I'm a Christian, for sure.
Okay.
I'm a Christian.
What kind of impact do you feel like God has on your life? The
impact is the result of what you're seeing right now. none of this is possible without him. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people think that, yes, with hard work and dedication, you're going to get somewhere, but how do you stay in that room? I believe in a higher power. I believe that if you give your tithe, your offering, if you believe that whatever it is, because in the Bible it says it, like, the only thing you got to do is believe. You get what I'm saying? So I believe to the point where it's like, yeah, I know for a fact I'm not perfect. I am a human being. We were all born sinners. So when somebody asks me, you a Christian, but you work with Youngboy or Kodak, or you make this type of music, you can't really define me by labels, because I don't define myself as having a label. But to be honest, God knows my relationship with him. He knows how I feel. And he knows at the end of the day, if I got to choose one, music or God, I'm going with God all day. But you can't really define me by labels. I am who I am. And that's, honestly, that's all that matters to me.
Okay. No, that's real, man. I feel like religion, you know, there's a lot of positives with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to hear people's perspective on that. What kind of genre would you say I know you just said that you don't really necessarily like labels, but what kind of genre would you put your type of music into? You know, is it rap, hip hop, you know, gospel?
It's rap.
Okay.
You know, you got, when people think about hip hop, they think about real, like, boom bap, New York type of vibe. It ain't that. I would say it's rap, but it's real musical, honestly.
Okay. Real lyrical, real. I feel like it's you got a voice. I feel like that a lot of artists or rappers necessarily might not have.
Facts. Yeah, for sure.
What do you feel like inspired that your sound? Who'd you listen to growing up and stuff like that?
The person that I listen to doesn't sound nothing like me, and that's simply because growing up, I would listen to Lil Wayne's and all of that good stuff, but every time I would listen to his music and I try to record, I would do something like him. So now I don't listen to anybody. So,
are you fans of anyone I would say, or just
right now,
like their music?
Honestly, I haven't really listened to no real new records unless I'm in the car with somebody else.
Okay.
But I don't really listen to music, so I don't really know what's out there. Like, I just know the people that I work with. So.
Right. Okay. So we talked about Kodak a little bit. You also have some credits with Youngboy.
For sure.
NBA Youngboy and Lil Uzi. And you opened up for Future as well. So how did the Youngboy connection come through? Was that after Kodak? Or?
That was after Kodak. That was like 2016. Shout out to DJ Swift, by the way. He's the one that kind of set it up. I was in a college dorm at the time. He calls me and says, "Hey, Dub, I got this guy named Youngboy. He said he rock with you. Like, he want to do a record with you." And I'm like, man, let me just see I don't know who he is. I'm going to check him out. I heard the first record, 38 Baby, and I was like, yo, this hard. So I was like, I can make a beat like that. So I opened up the laptop. Before I even text DJ Swift back, made the beat. I said, it's done already. He's like, what you mean? I sent him the beat. He sent it to YB. YB recorded it, shot a video the same night, then released it the next day.
Okay.
But before he released it, Swift called me and said, YB want to holler at you. So ever since then, like, me and YB, we always been locked in. So y'all heard Ain't Too Long, the whole This Is The Sound, which is my brand. We produced every song on that. We done multiple, like, I think honestly, and I could be wrong, but we got the largest Youngboy catalog. So.
What was the first song that you guys did?
The first song was I Ain't Hiding.
Okay.
That was the first one that really turned YB up and turned me up. So.
And you said this was around 2016?
2016.
Okay. And then you guys also did Solar Eclipse?
Solar Eclipse, shout out to 1040 Year. That was a dope record.
And then signed VH.
Oh yeah, so I got a call from the executives at VH1. It was like, we want you to do a record or a couple records for this TV show called VH1 Sign. And they had the judges. They had Rick Ross, he was a judge. Lenny S was the judge. And The Dream was the judge. So it was cool, it was dope, but we produced the whole season. And it was dope for sure.
So at this point, were you making pretty decent money off rap?
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making, I think I made my first million around, it would have to honestly be 2018.
Okay.
So it was dope. It was, I was actually really making some bread for sure. Like, more than I ever been, for sure.
And at that point, was it through like a label? Were you signed?
Nah,
or
never.
Was it just from your beats?
It was just, it was just the beats. At the time, I never signed a deal or nothing like that, so.
So how does that work? Does like their label contact you to kind of buy like
the beats?
Yeah.
Well, once you get a
once you get a percentage type thing.
Well, once you get a relationship with the artist, they directly tell you like, send me something, or I'm gonna hop on this, or blah blah blah. Then the A&R will reach out. If that artist is signed, they'll reach out and be like, I represent such and such. Let's go ahead and get these records done. So they'll give you an advance. After they give you an advance, you get a percentage of the record too.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you did half the record, as far as like you got rapping, you got producer, the producer get 50%, the artist get 50%.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people could use that advice, especially out here.
Yeah, for
we got
sure.
a lot of producers coming up who are trying to, learn that game. So that's interesting. Okay. Just to kind of cap off the producing, you've went 15 times platinum.
Yeah, for sure.
Now?
Bro, so last time I checked, I had like 70 something plaques.
70 plaques?
70 plaques. And I know a lot of people ain't got that.
Yeah.
I got 5 number ones, like Billboard number ones, not rap number one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the world. I got 5. You know how many people ain't got one?
Most people I know.
Man, look, man, we up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
What were those number ones? What song?
38 Baby, Top. Bro, I don't know. Bro, I don't know. I don't keep track.
You don't keep track at this point?
At this point, it's just, everything is just a blessing now, bro.
No, that's real.
Because the work gonna come. The work coming. It ain't gonna never stop. And if it do stop, then, hey, the run was good. But right now, we blessed enough to get these plaques and make this money. So I ain't tripping.
So how does it feel to kind of look back now from where you started to actually start making good money from the music business, because that's not easy. It's tough to get into the music business in the first place, but then to be successful and actually, you know what I'm saying, make good money and build a career out of it is another thing. So how have you, how do you kind of look back at your life now that you're seeing a lot of success and stuff?
I ain't gonna lie, I knew this day was gonna come. I knew it was gonna be here, but I didn't know how, right? I didn't know how long, but when you got that determination to wanna win and take it to the next level, the fate is in your hands. You only, the work that you get out, whatever you get out is the work that you put in. You gotta overly communicate, you gotta overly work, you gotta overly just go crazy with what you believe in. So when I look back, it's kind of like I'm looking into the future of my past. It's weird, bro.
Yeah.
But I knew I was gonna be here for sure.
That's dope. And then you opened up for Future too. Future's my favorite artist all time. So
yeah, Future hard for sure.
That's dope to see. How did that happen?
TSU, the school that I went to in college, they reached out and they was like, bro, we know you be rapping, so you should audition. And it was like 30 people who auditioned. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you that raw, you that raw. You know what I'm saying? So the school was like, yeah, we want you to open up. So I did what we did, and it was cool.
Okay. When did you decide to start taking rap more serious?
I was in Houston, and I was at Youngboy crib, man. I'm playing the records, and he was like, hey, say gangster. He was like, hey, if you keep rapping like that, it's gonna get done right. He was like, just keep doing you. And that was the first time somebody in the industry, especially on that caliber, He was like, bro, just rap. If that's what you want to do, rap. There's enough money for everybody. Other people would tell me, nah, why he want to rap? He should just stick to making beats. So if it wasn't for Youngboy, I would probably just be still on some like production and like kind of taking it, you know what I'm saying, slow.
Yeah.
But he told me, nah, boy, put that thing in 7th gear and go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. We full throttle now.
And when was that?
That had to be like right before he went to jail the last time.
Okay.
I was there.
So not too long ago.
Not too long ago, nah.
Okay.
He was just like, just rap, bro. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, for sure.
Looking at your YouTube, I seen a bunch of instrumentals there, over 100K and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a lot of those are the platinum hits, but I seen you just dropped "Hold You Down" featuring Bow Wow a month ago.
Where is that now? How many views is that now?
281K.
281. Stop playing with them. Yeah.
Is this your first music video or?
So nah, it ain't my first, but what I did was I wanted to just rebrand everything. I said I got a new voice. When I rap, my voice get deep. You know what I'm saying? I caught COVID, and that was a result. Like, I don't know what it did to my vocal, but when I started rapping, I don't sound like how I sound when I talk.
Yeah.
And just the whole Bow Wow thing, like I told y'all a long time ago, when I was 6, 7 years old, I saw him on TV.
So you're influenced.
And I said, yeah, I need to do a song with him. That was my goal as a kid. I was like, on Bounce With Me, he had the chain, he had the GoPed, he had the girls chasing him.
He was the most popping like artist for
a while. So I was like, yeah, I want to be like him. My mom was like, you think he ain't getting his education? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just wanted him because he had everything that I wanted growing up, the cool clothes and all of that. So I linked up with him and we did the record. We shot the video. That was it.
So what was it like for life to kind of come full circle and you know you are now working with your idols? Or at one point your idols turned into now your peers. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy, right?
How does that make you feel?
That a lot of times when you get into the room, like I did a record with Rocco, and he hopped on my song, and I was like, yo, like it's surreal because a lot of times, a lot of those things seem far-fetched, but for me to do a record with Bow Wow, I was just like, yo, and then he actually knew who I was. Like, we can actually like have a phone conversation. That was like dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Even though time has gone and he's not even really doing music, I said I just gotta go ahead and pay homage to the person that kind of inspired me to even do music.
Right.
So that's what I did for sure.
Okay. What kind of upcoming projects or singles, videos do you got on the way? So
I got my first official single with the label. I just signed to Icons and Giants, and the single is called All I Need. It's really like the beginning of my career to now because it has the gospel feel, but I also got that trap element in it.
Okay.
And it got, you know, today's production and all of that. When y'all let's see what I'm talking about once y'all hear it.
Okay.
So,
you got any major features on the way as well? Or you just focus?
Man, I got features and I got, you know, solo stuff, but if I told y'all what it is right now, you know what I'm saying, the element of surprise will go away.
Right.
So that's it.
I'm glad you said that.
For
I
sure.
feel like a lot of people, especially out in Colorado, can learn that.
Yeah.
Any tapes or projects?
Man, right now I'm just focused on putting out good music. Okay. One record at a time. One record at a time. If anybody saw my page on Spotify or Apple, y'all see that I had projects out before.
Okay.
But I'm just doing it the right way this time. That's all.
Okay, cool. What brought y'all out to Colorado?
Man, we working, man. I brought the team out here to do a couple interviews, lock in with the DJs. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to touch the places that you never thought that you would be able to touch before. Right. So that's why I'm out here.
Do some networking.
That's it.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all for, you know, tapping into Colorado, man. We got a bubbling scene, a lot of upcoming artists, you know, who could really learn from people like you.
Facts.
So, you know.
And I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Shout out to Mile High Minute, man. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the love. The Florida chain, I'm assuming just because you're from Florida, or?
Man, I'm a Florida boy, man. Stop playing, man. And guess what? Never mind, I ain't even gonna tell y'all about the diamonds. Top secret.
Oh yeah, man. Okay. Where can the people find you on social media? Instagram?
Man, follow me right now. Right now. On Instagram at DUBBAAA. That's how you spell it. DUBBA-AA. But on Instagram, it's DUBBAAA. Double A. Not Dubba. Not Dubai. Not none of that. Double A. Same thing on Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Okay, perfect. And you're on YouTube, Apple.
Yeah, man, I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Black People Meet. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. No, I'm playing. But yeah, I'm everywhere. Everywhere music is sold, that's where I'm at. Find me there. And follow and like and subscribe on my YouTube at the DubbaAA. Spell it the same way.
Yeah, man. All links will be in the description. Make sure y'all go follow DubbaAA on Instagram, YouTube, all that. Man, just check the resume. You know what I'm saying?
Unmatched. Stop
Unmatched,
playing.
Yeah.
Stop
Very
playing.
deep, you know, platinum records, you know, mainstream hits, number ones, all that. So, I mean, definitely.
DubbaAA #1 on the way.
Yeah.
DubbaAA Platinum Plaque on the way. For real. For sure.
So,
Don't believe me, just watch.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment down below who you want to see next on the Mile High Minute. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button to stay notified when all the latest news drop. You got any final thoughts, any shout outs, last minute things?
Man, shout out to God for the opportunity, for everything. That's it.
Okay, man. Appreciate you, man. Mile High Minute, #1 podcast, universe. We out.